When I was younger, life felt like a dream I never had to wake up from. My name's Ryan Carter, and back then, I believed the world was designed for me. No alarms, no deadlines, just comfort on a silver platter. Because my father, Stephen Carter, was wealthy, respected, and always said yes. I didn't study much, didn't worry about the future, and never thought about earning a single dollar. Because if I liked something, a new phone, designer sneakers, a trip to Vegas, I just asked, and it was mine. My friends warned me, you should think about the future. But I laughed, tossing their words aside like candy wrappers, because to me, life was an endless buffet, and my father was the one paying the bill. Every morning I woke up late, stretched in my California king bed with silk sheets, breakfast already at my bedside, my phone lighting up with messages about parties, road trips, or shopping sprees. And I'd spend hours watching TV or scrolling through socials, sometimes heading out with my friends to Beverly Hills bistros, speeding down the highway in luxury cars, rocking the finest clothes like we owned the city. And I genuinely thought, this is how life will always be. Work? For what? Stress? For whom? Money? It was always there. Travel? Instant. Comfort? Constant. Want a new iPhone? I'd get the Pro Max on launch day. New shoes? 2 pairs. I never once paused to think about where all of it came from. How my father built this life. How hard he worked. I was too busy living in the moment. Too blind to see the foundation beneath me was not mine. One evening, I came down the grand staircase, still in my designer pajamas, and saw my father waiting in the living room. Not with his usual warm smile, but with a face carved from stone. And when he said, "Sit down, son," something in his voice froze me mid-step. I tried to play it cool, joked, "What's up, Dad?" But his expression didn't change, not even a flicker of a smile. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're not a child anymore, Ryan. You need to start thinking about your future." I scoffed, waved my hand casually. "Dad, I'm fine. We have everything. I'm living good." But he shook his head slowly and said, "No, Ryan. I have everything because I work for it. You've never lifted a finger. One day things might change, and you won't be ready." I thought he was just having a bad day. "Nothing will change," I said with a smug grin. But he didn't argue. He just said, "We'll see." The next morning, I woke up late again, stretched as usual, picked up my phone to check messages from the crew, plans for brunch, for shopping, for joyrides. So I got ready, sprayed on my best cologne, wore my latest fit, and headed downstairs. But there he was again, my father, standing in the same spot, face still hard. "Come with me," he said. "I have plans," I muttered. "You'll reschedule," he replied. I followed him out, confused but curious. We drove in silence, past the glittering skyline, past the glossy districts, into a part of the city I'd never seen. Streets cracked, walls peeling, people walking with tired feet and downcast eyes. He stopped the car by a fruit cart, pointed to a man unloading boxes with trembling hands. "See him?" he asked. "He wakes up at 4 every morning. He works 14 hours a day. No days off, no complaints. He does this so his kids can eat." I said nothing. Then we drove deeper into the city, past alleys and faded shops, and he pointed to a dim-lit tailor store, where an elderly woman sat hunched over a sewing machine. She's been sewing clothes for 40 years. She barely gets by, but she never stops. I looked at her. Her fingers moved like clockwork. Her back was curved, her face tired. But she kept stitching. For the first time, something inside me stirred. A strange mix of guilt and awakening. We drove again, and this time stopped in front of his office. A towering building I'd only visited for pocket money, Inside, the air buzzed with phones ringing, people rushing, eyes glued to screens, stress in every corner. "Do you know what I do here every day?" he asked as we entered his glass-walled office. "You work," I said casually. "No, Ryan. I wake up before dawn. I handle crises. I make decisions that impact hundreds of lives. And I do all this for you." I didn't speak. My eyes scanned the office. People typing nonstop, arguing over reports, collapsing into chairs after long calls. And for the first time, I saw the weight behind the wealth. Then he handed me a small leather-bound notebook and said, "Tomorrow you start working here." I laughed like he told a joke. "Me? Work?" He didn't laugh. "Yes, from the bottom. No shortcuts. No special treatment." "But why?" I asked. "Because I won't be here forever," he said. "And when I'm gone, you'll either build or you'll fall." That night, I didn't sleep much. The next morning, I woke up before my alarm. It felt unnatural. I dressed plainly, no designer labels. As I came downstairs, my father handed me a brown paper bag. "What's this?" I asked. "Your lunch," he said. "Can't I just eat out?" "Today you're a worker," he replied. At the office, he didn't take me to his floor. Instead, he dropped me off at a cubicle-filled room, buzzing with screens and staplers. "You'll report to Mr. Wallace," he said. Wallace was in his 50s, glasses perched low, strict and silent. "Follow me," he said without even a smile. He led me to a desk and dropped a stack of papers in front of me. "Check these numbers. Find the mistakes. Be fast. No shortcuts." The numbers swam in front of my eyes. After 1 hour, I was dizzy. By lunch, I was exhausted. My back ached. My fingers cramped. The paper bag held a simple sandwich and an apple. No fancy sushi. No sparkling water. Around me, people ate silently, then dove right back into work. No gossip, no breaks, just grind. I missed my old life. But something else was also growing inside me. Respect. For them. For this. The next few days were brutal. Wallace rarely spoke. When he did, it was to correct me. "Slow. Try again. Too many errors. Double check." I wanted to scream. But I didn't. I kept going. I started to get it. Slowly. Day by day. Mistake by mistake. My shoulders still ached. My eyes burned from screens. But I felt something I'd never felt before. Purpose. Weeks turned into months. My speed improved. My accuracy sharpened. Wallace started saying things like, "Not bad," or "Good job." Just 2 words, but they hit harder than any gift. I stopped craving luxury. I started craving progress. I listened to other workers during lunch. Their worries, their families, their dreams. They laughed through pain. They pushed through exhaustion. And now, I was one of them. One evening, my father called me into his office. He looked at me quietly for a long time. "You've changed," he said. "At first, you were arrogant, careless. But now, I see it. You understand." I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. Then he handed me a small key. "Your office?" he said. My throat tightened. "Mine?" I whispered. "You've earned it," he said. That key felt heavier than gold. I moved into the tiny office the next day. Not because I had a title, but because I had experience. Real, hard-earned experience. I made mistakes as a manager, but I learned. I didn't run from problems. I solved them. I didn't demand respect. I worked for it. I led by example, just like him. Looking back now, I laugh at who I was. A boy who thought luxury was life and money grew on trees. But today, I know better. Life isn't about what you inherit. It's about what you build. With your own hands, with your own sweat. My father didn't just give me money, he gave me the lesson of a lifetime. And now, I'm ready for anything. If this story touched your heart, if you saw a part of yourself in these moments, then don't just scroll away. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for every story that reminds us who we are, where we came from, and what we're capable of becoming. Because some journeys don't end. They begin with just one click.